Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to be here with you. And in today's video, I'm bringing you a wonderful interview of this wonderful couple. They met online, and amazingly, their story is so beautiful and heartwarming. Today, I'm going to interview them and ask them questions about how they met and all the little secrets they can share with us so we can use these experiences to improve our own online dating as well. So, do not waste time to click on that subscribe button and stay with us. And don't forget, you also have to check this beautiful couple out. I'm linking their channel right there in the description. Click on it, check them out, and learn about them. And don't forget to subscribe to help their channel grow as well. Hi, so Pearl and Jesse, it's good to have both of you here today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I'm so happy to really have this interview with you because so many young people want to find love, yeah? And they are so stranded, and some of them are tied up with job and other things that is holding them down. For that matter, they're looking for a way to go out there and still find love because they still believe in love.
Yeah.
So that's why when we who have been successful share our story, it's a way for them to also realize, oh, I'm not on the wrong track, I'm on the right track, I'm doing something. So in today's video, please feel free and share all the secrets with us so that we can, those of us watching can also benefit from you. So without wasting time at all, if you can just give us a brief, introduction of yourself, and that should include, where did you meet and how? Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I'm Jesse, and so I live in the United States, Illinois. I do like heating, cooling for work. Been on several dating sites, had a few dates from different women, and then eventually, well, simultaneously, so I had this side and a few of them going at the same time. But I also had Match.com, which was one of the main sites, and that's eventually where we met Pearl. I'll let Pearl introduce herself.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm Pearl.
Interesting.
Yeah. I am Pearl. I'm from Ghana, but we live together now because we are married in the United States. I'm a student, so I'm pursuing my PhD in environmental resource and policy.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is good. You are both very learned people, and you have met online dating.
Yes.
So Pearl, did you intentionally go online to look for love? And did you also intentionally wanted to meet someone from a different race?
No. So before I came to the US, I was in a relationship, and when I got here, because of the distance, things didn't go well, so we ended it. And being from a different country, when it's like Christmas, everyone is gone home. You don't have any family. Like, I didn't have any family, so I was all by myself. So then I was like, it's boring. What can I do, right? And so I spoke to one other Ghanaian guy about like the fact that my relationship ended and it's just so boring. Then he was like, why don't you try online dating? I'm like, online dating, like, that is not my thing. And I don't trust it. I don't ever want to do that. I was like, you just don't know, just try it out. So one December break, I downloaded Match.com. And when I did, I was asked to pay, and I'm like, no way, I'm paying to find love. Like, I am not doing that. Like, I'm not gonna try. And so I was on there for like a month, and I see that people keep liking my pictures, and they keep sending me messages, but I can't see it because I haven't paid. So I'm like, something, I'll just go ahead and pay. So I paid for it, and I met a few people on there who went on several dates, and finally, when I thought of giving up was when Jesse sent me a DM.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So I wouldn't say I went online, like I wouldn't say I specifically went online to find someone from a different race. Like, I was willing to find someone from any race, even though I didn't really believe in online dating from the start. Yeah.
Okay.
And just specifically, weren't necessarily looking for love. It was mainly just something to do, or maybe a friend, or
Yes.
someone to hang out with, do things with.
Yeah, because Match.com, I think I went on dates with like blacks, whites. I think I even went on dates with one Asian guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. So you were actually very open just to find that person. You didn't care whether it was an African or wherever the person is coming from. That's good to know. I only ask this because there is this prejudice people have that people who are married out of their race, do not like their race or stuffs like that. And it's weird.
It is weird.
Really weird, yeah, like for people to think that way. So thanks a lot for explaining this for us to get it, to really know why you started online dating to find love. And I just want to encourage anyone out there, don't let anybody tell you that you are doing the wrong thing when you know you are doing the right thing for yourself. Yeah. So thanks a lot for sharing that. Now, one thing I want to find out is, how was your first date like? How long did you even chat before deciding to meet in person?
So by this time I'd been on several dates. I had a time a few years before we met where I was using online apps, so maybe for like a year, and then like I'd go off for a little bit and then to pick it back up. So I was really just getting tired of doing online dates and online dating. So in my head, I'm just thinking like, hey, it's gonna work. I'm gonna like the person, they're gonna like me, or it's just not gonna work.
Yeah.
So I was getting, you could say, impatient, I guess. So I think we liked each other maybe like, was it that the day before?
Yeah.
Okay, so we liked each other on a Friday.
Okay.
And we started chatting a little bit, just a few, hey, where are you at? What you doing? Where are you from? What do you like to do, maybe? And then I'm just like, screw it, it's gonna work or it won't. So I had like plans to go to her town the next morning, because I was looking for maybe some clothes. I had plans that later that night. So I'm just like, hey, you want to go get breakfast tomorrow? So she said yes. So we talked for, maybe 30 minutes, and then I asked if you wanted to meet in person.
Yeah.
I guess we seemed.
Hold on. You wait. This is getting interesting. Hold on. You met online, and after 30 minutes of conversation, you asked if she wants to meet in person.
Yeah.
This is interesting. You know what? I remembered. There was a comment that Pearl shared some time ago, and if I remember properly, she asked, "Is it a red flag if the person kind of wants to take things really quickly? Do you get it? You meet someone online and everything is moving too fast. Like, is it a red flag or no?" And I think I now understand why that question came up. I now understand. I forgot the exact question, but this is what I think I remember. That is actually, in some instances, a red flag when someone just met you and like, let's meet in person. You feel like the person is just looking for hookups or something. That's what you might think, especially being a woman, where you are looking for something serious. You feel like you want someone who wants to take his time, to do things, not to rush too much, So in some ways, it sounds like a red flag, but I'm so happy that you guys met, and just after 30 minutes, you decide we want to meet in person. I want to see who you are. That's awesome. Wow. So how was your meeting in person like? Because if you had talked like days, maybe months, it would have given you a little more information about who she is or who he is, and you would have kind of developed some sort of attachment a little bit before meeting in person. So how was your first date like when you met in person? How was it?
So for me, I was very nervous. I was shy. And before we actually even met him, I wasn't sure it will last, because I'm like, I've been on dates with people and we go on like one date, or I think there was one guy we went to like 3 or 2 dates, and then that was like nothing really happened. So I'm like, yeah, I know it's not gonna work out. So just one of those dates, and I'll just go and that'll be it. So I was very nervous, and I was even late. Ghanaian or African. I was a little bit late, but I think seeing him and just getting him, like, oh, okay, this is the face. And to be honest, it looked better in person than the pictures I saw.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it gave me some kind of like calm and peace. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
What about you, Jesse?
So I'll say when I started messaging Pearl, I wasn't exactly like in my mind. I wasn't like, oh yeah, this could be marriage, looking for love kind of thing. I was kind of along the same lines, like, hey, I need something to do maybe, and like an African, like it'd be cool to like talk with an African. Maybe I wanted to kind of test my personality to see if I could really connect and how well I could just communicate and be friendly with someone from a different country who I had nothing in common with, really no pre-chats or like relationships. So I was just going in to have fun, to talk with somebody, and get some breakfast, and just see how it went. So
Wow.
just have a good time.
Interesting. I'm so glad to hear that. But then the follow-up question I would ask now is, at what point did you know that this is the person I want to be with, and this is getting serious? This is going to both of you.
I think, like, both of us, after our third date, that was when we realized that we want to take this serious. Am I right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so on our third date was in my room, right? We had a movie night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so our first date was like the breakfast. Second date was very long. We went to St. Louis, like 2 hours away from me, and it's like an hour and 30 minutes from him.
Yeah.
And we went out in the morning and we spent the whole day out at a car show. I was like done. I was tired. I just wanted to get back home because like he's like more adventurous, like an outdoor person, indoor person. So, I was out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
But the third date was in the house, like my place. We ate and watched a movie. So that's when I realized that, okay, I think I'm falling in love with this guy and it could be a thing. But still, I wasn't thinking it would lead to marriage. I was thinking I could get to know him more. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably around the same timeline. So our first date was fun, just talking, but it's first date stuff, so you really can't put a whole lot into it.
Yeah.
Second date, I realized that I took her way out of her element. Going to a city, looking at cars. We went inside the Arch in St. Louis, and then we went to eat, and then we still had to drive home. So yeah, it was like a 7-8 hour date for like number 2.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Like the week after the first date. So I mean, we've only known each other for maybe 9 days. We're having a 9-hour date, and so that was a bit much. So I realized some wisdom came to me, because after the second date, she was shutting down. She was kind of, a little bit snippy because she was tired. I was like, I can't really assess the whole Pearl from the second date. The third date was when I was like, okay, so we did it kind of on like my turf and what I would like to do. So we'll just take it real simple. We'll just go over to your place. Maybe we can eat some food, just watch a movie, just hang out. So that date really opened up Pearl's personality. She was able to just talk freely and funly, make jokes, and be around her apartment in her own area. So I really, it started to sink in. Like, hey, this is a cool person. Like, I really enjoy being around like who she is. She's vibrant and lively.
Yeah, like I think we went bowling.
Yeah, it was probably a fourth date.
4 days, okay.
Yeah. Wow. The bowling was fun. So it was still just us two. Not a big area, pretty close to where she was. So we were able to just kind of have a little competitiveness, and it was fun.
Wow, just still trying to know each other and all that. That's awesome. The next question that I want to ask is, when you started dating as Christians, what was the challenge you had to deal with when it comes to the romantic aspect of your relationship?
Okay, so before I met him, I wasn't a virgin. He was a virgin when we met. And so he told me right away that no sex till marriage. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, yeah, and I'll let you take it from there.
Okay. So we had several dates. No, we did good because we lived obviously in separate towns. It was like a 40-minute drive. And we just kept having dates and dates and dates, and eventually like COVID happened. So I kind of shut everything public down. So our dates were really forced into either her house or my house, which made it even harder.
Sorry for interrupting. The main reason why I asked this question is because when I listened to your date, it was like you're either in her house or in your house. So that's why I'm asking how you manage, keep yourselves away from eating the fruit, before getting married. Because some people say it's quite tough for them to do. So
it is tough, and
how
especially
did
because
you manage that?
yeah, I wasn't a virgin and he was a virgin, and he was very strong in his faith. And I'll say my faith, like meeting him now, I'll say my faith has like grown more stable, or has become more stable as compared to before I got to meet him. So like me knowing very well that he's very committed and he doesn't want sex before marriage, I think that helped. Yeah.
I said we made it a ways, but we won't put up a front or lie to you. We didn't make it till we got married.
No, we didn't.
And there were probably several months before we even got engaged, or we probably broke that. So we weren't the perfect little saintly couple there. There was definitely some premarital funness going on.
Okay. So meaning a little premarital fun happened, a little, not like, Okay, so that's okay. I just want to know, because a lot of women that I've met are talking about being Christians and dating, how things they don't have to do, things they have to do, sustaining a relationship without involving in, premarital sex, if I should put it that way. So that's why I'm asking this question, to be able to help those who are listening, who may be coming through to watch, especially those who are Christians. And one question I also want to ask is, were all this possible because you lived in the same country? Was your first date and everything that happened propelled so fast like that, Was it progressive so fast like that because you live in the same country? Would you say that?
I would say it was pretty progressive. But kind of address your first point. If someone feels, or some woman feels, they need to have sex to sustain their relationship, then it's definitely not a relationship they should stay in. They need to probably leave that and find someone who can just love a person for who they are. I know obviously physical like needs and you have like desires come up. I mean, you can, it happens where both of you get weak and you succumb to those feelings, but I mean, you can always repent about those, pray about them, and then start anew.
Fresh, yeah.
Jesus doesn't hold it against us as long as we are his children. We can repent and we can keep moving. He understands we're weak. But if it's something that the man is pushing you for and like is threatening to leave because you're not having sex, definitely not a man you should be having. But also with our relationship, it was definitely propelled forward a decent bit because, like I said, COVID did happen shortly after we started to know each other. So our dates, there wasn't a lot of distractions. We were very forced to be like cooking with each other. We're having very personal time, just long discussions. So I felt like we got deep into knowing each other pretty quickly. I mean, it was probably 3-4 months into our just relationship, and we're like, wow, I feel like I know like so much about you. Like I've known you for years, and we're just 3-4 months in. So we had a pretty deep connection pretty early on. So I think that also kind of helped build into one of the reasons we broke our sanctity early.
Oh, wow, this is awesome. And I really appreciate this interview. I'm enjoying it so much that I don't want to even stop.
I'll say, yeah, I did, because we're in the same country and we're in the same state, a different town. So it kind of helped with that. And I was actually even in the final year of my master's program then. And I had plans of moving away, but then he wasn't certain that if I moved away, it would have helped us. So I actually had to like make a decision to like stay so we could work out our relationship. So I think that helped, because according to him, if I was to move away, he's not sure we will work out, because he's not really into like long distance dating.
Yeah. I mean, I tried with a girl who was like only 2 hours away, and we had one date, and then it broke off like 3 weeks later. So I was like, if she moves 10 hours away, there's no way. I'm not taking flights every week. I wasn't willing to do that kind of relationship. So yeah, I was putting it like 95% failure rate.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that long distance doesn't work. Long distance does work. It's just that for us, like, we're not ready for that. Yeah. Yeah, because I know people who it worked for. I'm sure it even worked for you yourself.
Yes, it worked for myself, but it was a lot of work. Trying to stay connected. It's not easy with having terrible internet connections, and Ghana. You've been to Ghana, so we'll get there. All right, guys. So I hope you're enjoying this interview, and I just want to welcome you all. If you are new here, my name is Rita Siao. I am an educator, a public speaker, and the author of Your Unstoppable. I'm also the founder of Feminist Africa, a non-profit organization that is focused on empowering young women and girls. And we do all we can to empower these young women to have skills, to afford education, and be able to have a better life. So in case you want to partner with my non-profit organization, look in the description and you'll find our website. Check us out and let's work together to improve lives. All right, guys. So my wonderful couple that I'm interviewing today is Pearl and Jesse. So check out their YouTube channel, J and P Swell. Please subscribe to their channel and also follow them along to hear a lot about their story and learn a lot from them. They have so much to share with you, especially if you are a Christian looking for love online, then this is for you. How long was your date before you decide to make it official? Ask her to marry you. Jesse.
So we had our first date like ending of January. We kind of became like boyfriend, girlfriend around Valentine's. So that was just a couple weeks away. And then I felt I was ready to propose around July. So that was only, 5 months later? But, I first talked to some family, talked to some friends, and they were like, hey, just maybe take it a little slower. Maybe you guys could read a book, just to discuss some more in-depth things about the future, how you guys feel about certain issues. So we did that. I brought that up to Pearl, and so she knew I was kind of thinking about it. But she didn't know exactly when I'd propose, but pretty well already knew we were going to be together. After she committed to staying near where I lived, that kind of was a big sign that she was all in, and I told her that, I was probably going to be all in, and she did. But I ended up popping the question ending of October on Halloween. We went to a theme park later that day, but I surprised her. It was like a little photo shoot and popped the ring out and, caught her off guard. So it was a good day. So we made it from February to the end of October.
So 8 months.
8 months.
That's amazing. Just after 8 months. When did you get married?
So this was the engagement was in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
We got married 2021 May. So I think that was after 7 months.
7 months, yeah.
So 7 months after your engagement, you got married.
Yes.
So in all, you had 15 months of a relationship, which is, I would say, a year and 3 months. You were together for 1 year and 3 months, and then you got married. You were like, this is it for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Jesse, what about her made you decide that this is it? Because this is a young lady you've met online, and you started dating, and then after a year and 3 months, you decide this is the woman I want to make my wife. What were some of the things that transpired that made you feel like this is it?
Well, through our dating, we were pretty consistent. At least we going to church. I know she was starting to like help out in her church as well. Just doing like little things as far as picking up cards, and she wanted to get involved. She was pretty consistent with her faith. I know she was pretty going to church like every Sunday. And through our conversations, I could tell that she could really process and like think out like deep thoughts, and she could follow them up, and she just had a very good mental connection. Mental maturity. She had a mental maturity that I appreciated. And also that she was willing to, on her dates, I'd make her do things that she was very uncomfortable doing.
So she was ready to compromise. So the first thing, she had this mental maturity. The second thing, she was ready to compromise on things to make the relationship, stand. Because sometimes there has to be compromise, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. She had a very adventurous spirit. So that was also something that I was very, very welcoming with. So I like to do crazy things, and I would love it if my wife would do crazy things. And she did. So that was she'll be right there with me.
So for me, what I notice about him is his commitment to the Word of God. And like my faith is a big thing for me. And knowing very well that, this guy is like way up there, and I'm down here, I'm willing to actually have someone like that in my life to help me along my journey with God. So that was like the main reason why I said, okay, he's the one. So the fact that he's caring and loving. Yeah.
Handsome.
Yes. And
Isn't it? He's so handsome. Of course, you need that. So funny. Oh, but one thing I really appreciate about you two is how gorgeous you look together, and two, how supportive you are of each other, because before a marriage can work, you both need to support each other. And that's one thing that we all need. Yeah. So keep up the good work. You're doing a great job. All right. So the next question that I want to ask is, what were some of the challenges you faced, even whilst dating, and now that you're married couples? What were some of the challenges you experienced?
Only two biggest ones I can think of are just like social interactions. Through Pearl's upbringing, she was kind of a little more timid, a little more reserved. Didn't go out very much. So it took a little while to get her to like open up and warm up to like friends and even talking to like my family, just to like share opinions and be more outgoing and more personable. And then also just with food. So if we're trying to plan to cook something, everything she says is African. Everything I say is American. Rarely do I say anything where she's like, that sounds good. So, it was a lot of African food. And then going out to eat, she's not accustomed to that at all. So I got to like break down the menu every time. So that was, a bit of a learning curve for me.
Yes.
So that's nice. So these are the two major things. What about the prejudices you've had and experienced with people? Did you go through any kind of issue like that when it comes to family?
No.
Well, I can't say that we really experienced much.
No.
So when she first met my parents, it was mostly with her accent. They just weren't used to it. But they could tell even through our first date and what they could understand. Yeah. She did care for me and she loved me. They said she was very sweet. We really enjoyed talking to her and bringing her around more and just very receptive. They were just concerned with her intent toward me, not skin color or any kind of racial or nationalities or anything like that.
Yeah, but we didn't have any like that.
What about people? What about other people's opinions about whether this relationship would work or why? Some of the prejudices you felt from the society, not necessarily your family.
Yeah, like mostly like social media. We haven't had any such situations with like family and friends. Mostly when we post on social media, people, like you said earlier, they say, I'm married to Jesse, he's my slave master, and they don't see why I should be with him. I married him because of money and green card. I hate my own race because I'm married to him. Like, it's just, sort of negativity on the social media, and we don't really care about it, because what they think doesn't define us.
Thank you. I was just about to ask, how do you handle that? But this response you've given is like thumbs up. That's the best response you can give to people who are being so negative, especially on social media, because they feel you can see my face, you don't know who I am, so they can say anything. Right. And the best part of this is that people's opinion doesn't define who you are. And that's it. Thanks, guys. We are on. I'm so happy that I got you two to interview. And thanks a lot for taking the time to share with us your experience and to also, bring to us who are still on the journey of finding love, especially using online dating. You are educating us and we are learning a lot from you. That's all I want to say. Okay, so my next question is, what is the advice you give to a man or a woman out there trying online dating for the first time? What advice do you have for them?
Well, if they're trying for the first time, I would say definitely be patient. Online dating, there are tons of old profiles, fake profiles, bots. There's a lot of junk out there, so you really got to be patient and try to find someone real. Also, go on dates. If it seems like it's a safe opportunity and you trust at least what you see so far, go out there.
And it should be in the open,
Yeah, in open. Somewhere public, somewhere maybe daylight. Just so you can talk to each other. You really won't be able to find if you like the person until you meet them. At least you have video calls, because a lot of things can be misconstrued or concocted to appear a certain way.
Yeah.
So meeting a person is a big helpful thing. As long as you feel it's safe, I'd go out there, because you don't know what you're going to like about someone or not like about someone until you meet them, and then you can generate your idea of the type of person you want to meet and you can look out for.
Yeah. Yeah, so like you said, it's mostly about being patient, and if you've been on there for a while and you feel like it's not really working and you're getting frustrated, just take a break from, the online dating site. And I feel like you can also find people on social media, like Instagram, Facebook. So all you need to do is just interact or engage with people's content. But sometimes, like, someone can comment on a photo, right? And then someone else sees the comments, like, oh, I like this person's comments, and then you start chatting. Like, you may never know where you find love. So don't just like focus on online dating sites. You can try social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. Yeah.
And you really find, but you got to find what like apps work in your area. Certain like smaller dating apps really only work in big cities. So if you're in a more rural area, you probably have to focus on more like national sites. So that might be just whatever works in your area.
Right.
Wow, these are very great advice you've just shared. Look for apps that work in your area. Take your time, give yourself time, be patient to find the right person. Go out there and have dates. These are all wonderful advices you have been given. And the other question I would ask is, what advice will you give to people who may find themselves in a different continent, and still trying to date online? They have met and there is thousands of miles between them. Yeah. What advice will you give them, and what encouragement will you add to it as well?
In general, I'd say if you have found someone you have a deep and genuine connection with, really start to look at practicalities. Will this ever be something that can work? Are you willing to move to where he is, or is he willing to move to where you are? What's your job situation going to look like? Got to deal with visas and just transportation. I'd really dig into the practicalities and actually discuss, will this be possible?
Right.
If you both agree that it will, go for it. There's nothing's going to stop you.
This is encouraging. Thank you so much. And to my wonderful subscribers, I really appreciate you. This video is designed just for you who is out there looking for love, whether in person or whether you are trying to do it online, or whether you're trying to use social media, whatever means you're trying to use to find the love of your life. I just want you to know you are not wrong doing that. Make sure that you know where you find a person is not the problem, but the kind and nature of person you find and decide to spend the rest of your life with is what matters. That's all I want to say to end my interview. But before we put everything to an end, I want to give you an opportunity to please talk about your channel and what you share on your channel, and what subscribers should expect in case they decide to subscribe to your channel.
Our channel is focused on sharing fun and intentional marriage-related ideas. Give tips on how you can build a healthy, strong relationship with your partner. You don't need to be married, because some of the information we share can also be like applied in relationships as well. And also we once in a while share our lifestyle. Like recently we shared our vlog to Ghana, and maybe we share like date nights and other activities in our lives. Yeah. So mostly fun-related marriage content.
Just upcoming, we're also going to we're in development of like a marriage training videos. So we're doing some how-tos or do's and don'ts with some instructionals and just some videos. So hopefully those work out well.
Right.
Awesome. It will definitely work out. And I'm rooting for both of you. And I know that the journey you've taken is not just carnal, not just by human thinking, and it's because I believe the Lord wants marriages to grow, marriages to flourish, marriages to be enjoyable and beautiful, not just with stress and all this abuse and all that. So doing this means it's a ministry, and I pray the Lord enlarge your ministry and bring in lots of people to help grow that ministry. That's my prayer for you too. How did you manage cultural differences in your relationship and even now as a married couple?
So the cultural difference, I'll say it's mostly about us knowing very well that we are from different backgrounds. So we know that there may be things that we will not really agree on. So when those situations come up, we just try to like handle it as we go. Like I can't really think of any time we've had any challenge with our cultural difference.
Yeah, I would say at least it's probably a minor problem in our relationship, or marriage.
Yeah.
I don't think either of us are just hell bent on having something a certain way. So I mean, if she wants to dress, in some African clothes or go out in a certain way, usually okay with that. She keeps, braids her hair. I don't know.
Wigs. Yeah, he's okay with it.
Yeah, we made room. I made some shelves.
Yeah, he helped with it.
She cooks food. I help her do dishes. We're just supportive of each other. I mean, I'm not a picky eater, so I eat pretty much whatever she makes, as long as it's not like lava. So
right. So it hasn't really been a challenge for us.
Yeah.
Interestingly. Thinking about it, I'm like, wow. Okay.
The only way, the interactions with my parents, I just encourage her to be more open. Those are, still, even in America, you have families who want you to act a certain way. So that's not really like a cultural thing. I'm sure in Ghana there are more open families than what Pearl grew up with. So it's really just adapting to the individuals.
How was your experience visiting Ghana for the very first time, Jesse?
It was very nice. We left here, it was like dead cold. So we went there, it was just walking into summer. So the weather was nice. It gets hot like that here in Illinois. So it wasn't like I've never felt it before. So it was just nice being in the warm weather again. The hustle and bustle of Ghana and Africa, that was a little much. Everybody's all in your face and they just like have no shame to come up and talk to you, where in America, everyone's by ourselves and we don't talk to anybody unless we have to. So everybody just kind of being all in their business was a little much. So that took some adapting.
Sure.
We're also very, very busy. So, it was just we were jumping around a lot. So the traffic, we were in a lot of traffic, in the car a lot, having to deal with speed bumps and road stops and poor roads and dirt roads, and definitely need some more infrastructure over there, some more paved access. But the food was nice. What we did have, there was a lot of ricey places, so I had to eat some rice. Eventually we got some American food, so that was more Americanish. That was fun as well. Meeting Pearl's family was nice. Our interactions were a little limited just due to like accent barriers. But they were nice, they were welcoming. I enjoyed time with them.
All right, so guys, thanks a lot for honoring my invitation to interview you so I can share with my subscribers who are out there looking for love online. And the advices and encouragement you've shared, I believe it's going to go a long way to help them in their quest to find love. And I just want to say thank you for your time. I really appreciate you. And to all my wonderful subscribers out there, please do not forget to go and check J&P Swell. Check out their channel and subscribe to their channel. I'm going to link their channel in the description so that you can check them out, subscribe, and support their growth. I know they're going to give you so much to learn from. If you are new here, my name is Rita Siang. If you have not subscribed yet, please, this is the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe and join this wonderful family as we learn to grow ourselves. This channel is all about women empowerment, personal development, motherhood, and anything that can help us grow as individuals. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I'll be bringing you wonderful interviews in the future. So make sure you subscribe and follow this channel and we will grow together. Thank you all so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.